Buongiorno, everyone. Happy Sunday. It is Sunday yet again. And of course, my cousin the Pope has provided me with some wonderful sacramental wine to celebrate this beautiful day with you. I hope that your summer has been fantastic so far. I hope you continue to have a wonderful summer. And today, I have very special guests with me. Of course, I have back our old favorites for a new segment of Let's Get Weird with Morgan, but I also have another friend who decided to join us today. So it's a good episode to join in, and I welcome you all here on this wonderful day. Hello, hello, hello. And I'm not going to waste any time because, like I said, we have some wonderful questions, and we also have a very important segment to get to. So without further ado, I may have had a little of this before we started. Please welcome Lady Morgan and Lady Rosaline is here.
Good day, everyone.
Hello. Yes. How are you on this fine Sunday?
Not too bad.
I wanted to sleep in all day, but then I remembered I got to see two of my most favorite friends, so then I had to wake up.
It's a good reason to get out of bed.
It's true.
It's true. I had some allergy issues in the morning, but other than that, I've been doing fairly well, which is it's good. It's finally starting to clear up. But
yes.
Hooray!
So usually I ask for you. Remember, I will ask you for a toast in the beginning and the end. So one of you take the beginning, one of you toast us out of here.
A toast!
A toast!
Here's to the Australian kiss. It's like the French kiss, but down under.
Salud!
Salud.
Good.
Did you know that a group of kangaroos is called a court of kangaroos?
Ooh!
They're
holding court. Which one of them's the judge?
I don't know.
I guess the one with the biggest legs.
The one with that can hop the highest.
Yes.
The highest, yes. All right,
That's
so
right.
ladies, I feel like we should just jump right into some questions.
Sure, of
Because
course.
I have some good ones today. Not that there are ever no good questions, but these are very interesting and a lot to get into. So let's just start with which one? All right, this is a very geeky question, okay? Which Avatar: The Last Airbender nation would you belong to?
I got it. That's easy.
Is it?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely Fire Nation. Absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think that I would, if I was using abilities, if I could be a bender, I think I would just stick with fire, because I know firebenders can eventually bend lightning and other things like that, other kinds of elements. I think I'd probably just be like regular straight up fire, but maybe like different colors or levels. Like you could get to blue flames that are really, really intensely hot, or the white ones.
Ooh.
Like a really white flame. You would be like the queen white flame.
Yeah, like it could be like precision. Like it wouldn't just be like a fireball. It would be like really, really tiny, like a laser sort of thing, but not actually lasers. Fire.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I just want to see you setting off like sparklers out of your fingers. For funsies. Like,
I would be up for that too, just for 4th of July and wee sparklers everywhere.
Well, my sign's a Virgo, which is an earth sign, and I think I took the test, one of those BuzzFeed tests, asking which one you were, and I think it gave me earth, but I don't like being dirty. And I feel like earth are very like grounded individuals, and I'm a bit more flighty. So I think Lady Rosaline would probably be more of like a water. Splashy bender, which would make sense because my husband played one on TV. No, really.
Oh yes,
Water
really.
Vibes. Really. He was in that horrible movie.
So many other people were too, and
But
I
it
feel
played him very well. So
Yes. I feel like I would definitely be earth, only because that is where the tomatoes come from and the basils. And I'm very short.
and you're like our little donkey. Whenever we do festivals with you, you like carry all of our things on your back. Just
very
like,
I've got that tough energy.
yes.
would you stick straight to just earth, or would you try like metal bending as well?
Oh, metal bending sounds like fun. I can make jewelry.
That's a more interesting practical application to metal bending that a lot of
There you
people.
go.
Use your power for good and sparkly.
No, it wasn't. It doesn't exist.
It does, because my husband got paid for it.
Right. I will say, for as bad as the movie may have been, I do like other M. Night Shyamalan pieces. I think it's still a very brilliant director, and he doesn't work for Mark, but he does some really fun stuff. And he comes from this area, so the more work that he can bring to this area, the better.
It's true, and he tends to film here too.
Right.
Sixth Sense was an amazing movie.
Yes.
I also really liked Unbreakable is really good. And what was the other one that I really liked that some people are a little The Village. I actually really enjoyed The
Village annoyed me because I was like, how in the area of Philadelphia did you not know that there were outsiders? Like, there's planes, there's traffic noise, there's sirens. How did you not know? Like, I want to know. Anyway.
Yes.
Speaking of bending, these are all copper. So that this is a I got this from when we were down in New Orleans. I got this at Adorn, which is one of my favorite jewelry shops, but it's a single piece of copper rolled around in a circle. And I was looking for something specifically with this necklace that I got at a different place. And I said, all right, I need something copper. And it's almost copper insulation. And then they just rolled it into little pieces.
Wow. They're beautiful. They're very shiny. They're catching the light.
Yes, I was like, all right, I need something red, but I didn't want to wear red. I was all right, what could I possibly wear with my copper works really well.
I know you inspired me to put my pretty dressing gown on because you look so
I
nice.
love that dressing gown.
It's one of my favorite things. Hang on, let me make myself a little bigger here because I want to show this off. Yes. Look at this. Look at this thing. Look at the tassels. I love it. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. You encouraged me to purchase this too.
I did because it was the dressing gown of course, I saw my husband just last night and he was perfectly fine and I don't know what happened to him.
No.
The second you started talking about that, I said, yes, you have to get this. This is exactly what you need.
Amazing. It's for all the murder mysteries that we do.
Exactly.
No.
All right. So I think that we have a lot of experience and we're talking about the murder mysteries. And I think all three of us are very good detectives at this point. Like, I feel like we're all pretty good at figuring out murder mysteries. But I would like to know, who do we think would win in a spelling bee? Who do we think would win in a relay race? And who do we think would win in a joust?
Morgan wins the joust.
Morgan wins the joust. That one's easy.
Well, but I feel like with some of your personal experiences, Catalina, I feel like you could probably still give me a run for my money.
I would win. I would win in a boat joust.
Oh, yes.
I also think Morgan would also win that relay race. Because I think she runs.
I do run whenever there's not horrible allergens in the air. I do run on a regular basis. Yes. And I miss that. I do not necessily win a spelling bee because I know a lot of big words, but I can't spell them.
I would win the spelling bee.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
She would also win the legible bee because she has such fabulous handwriting.
I would write out all of the words at the spelling bee.
It would look way better.
Can you use it in a sentence? Can I put it on some paper?
Yes. May I please write it out for myself?
No, that's good. That's good.
Except the word Mediterranean. I always get that word wrong. Always. Can't figure out which letter is doubled.
Yeah, I was just saying, is it 2 T's or 2 R's?
I believe it's 2 R's.
2 R's. Wow.
But I always get confused every time I spell it.
2 T's. It should be Mediterranean, but it's not. It's
Mediterranean.
Yes. Double R.
I'm a little offended, Rosaline.
I'm from there too, to be fair.
You are.
I just can't spell it. That's all.
There are times, I will say, because I'm a writer, there are times where I will look at words that are deceptively simple and I will say, there's no way that it's spelled that way. Mm-hmm. Oh God, archery contest. I feel like Catalina might win on that one because you actually have some experience in that.
I do. I'm better at darts than archery. But you know what? I'll take it. I will take it.
Yes.
The few times I've tried archery, I've definitely snapped myself on the arm like a couple.
Oh no! Well, you do that. That's gonna happen.
I've done archery, and I did archery at the New Jersey Renaissance Fair the year that I was Queen Margaret. The king wanted to go play archery, so I went with him because that's what a loyal wife does. And I went and I shot in my corset, and I hit the bullseye. And
Wow!
it was pretty impressive, and my mind was blown. So I'm not horrid at archery, but I don't know if I would win.
I think we would all hold it together long enough. We would be pretty evenly matched.
Yes.
Sure. I think so. Absolutely. All right. Well, you know what? I think now is a good time. Lady Morgan, would you like to launch into our newest segment of Let's Get Weird with Morgan?
Sure. I forgot to bring the book into the room with me. Oop. There it is. All right. Hello, friends. So today, kind of funny enough, you were talking about a little bit earlier about detectives, and that's kind of what I'm dealing with too. So this got inspired by a book that I just finished called I'll Be Gone in the Dark. Now that's a newer book, and it was by, oh God, what is her name? Now, of course, I can't come up with it. She's Patton Oswalt's wife, or was, and she passed away, unfortunately, before the book was officially completed. But she was doing personal research on the Golden State Killer, who was a prolific murderer in the 70s and 80s, specifically in California. And she did all of this extensive extra research, and really part of the reason that they ended up catching him in 2018 is because she got it back into the public eye. And I was really inspired by that, to be like, well, all right, so what are detectives and how long have they been around, and what's like the most famous female detective? Because she never got that honor. She was never officially hired by anybody, but she worked very extensively with the police force who were trying to solve things. And unfortunately, there's only like 2 pictures of this woman ever. But we're going to talk about a woman named Kate Warne. So Kate Warne, W-A-R-N-E, was born in 1833. And she has the distinction of being the first female superintendent of detectives with the Pinkerton Agency. The 1800s. Yeah, I had no idea. I just looked it up. First of all, let me tell you that detectives as a concept are not as long-lived as I thought they were. It only really started in the 1800s. And depending on what source you find, a lot of them say that basically Edgar Allan Poe invented the concept. Wow. So, yeah, his gentleman detective, I think it's C. Auguste Dupont, who he wrote about before there was Sherlock Holmes. He was actually, he did the inspiration for Sherlock Holmes, was a character that he wrote about in, I think, the 1840s. And that was kind of the beginning of a lot of other things. There are police forces that predate that time, but there wasn't really someone who is dedicated to looking at evidence and finding clues and following these clues down dark pathways and stuff. So it's kind of fascinating that the concept of detectives was written about before there actually really existed real detectives. So that was kind of interesting. So Kate Warne, we don't know much about her from her early life. We don't even know quite when she was born. 1833 is the best guess. But she was widowed early. So that's as much as we really know. That she was married and then was widowed and then really kind of had nothing to do. So in the 1850s, the Pinkerton Detective Agency, which is a very famous detective agency, one of the biggest in the country, was started in Chicago. They put out an advertisement in the 1850s looking for more detectives. And this woman shows up at the Pinkerton Detective Agency. And at first, I think his name is Alan Pinkerton. He speaks with this woman. He says, "Are you looking for a secretarial job?" And she said, "No, I want to be a detective." And he was kind of surprised at first. He said, "Well, we don't have any women detectives. Women don't do that kind of work." And she, over the course of about 2 hours, convinced him that she could get places that men couldn't. And she could get confessions from the wives and girlfriends. So just a very, very clever woman. And she's 23 at this time. Like 23.
Wow.
Now, she was widowed at 23.
And then decides to become a detective.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. This is a fascinating woman.
Yeah.
So then she, and I think there's a book about them. I think it's called like Pink Ladies or Pink something, but there's a book about women detectives that's available on Amazon as well, which goes over some of her stuff. So in 1858, he puts her to the test. She sort of insinuates herself into the Adams Express Company embezzlement scandal. So basically, she starts talking to there's this company called the Adams Express Company. I think they shipped things via freight, and there was a lot of money that was going missing. And she started to speak with the wives and girlfriends of the different members that were part of the sort of upper echelon of that company, and did discover exactly who stole all of the money, found the evidence that they needed to prosecute, and she got back $39,000 of the $50,000 that was stolen at that time.
Wow.
Kind of amazing that she was able to figure all of that stuff out. But that's not the best story. This is the most fascinating thing to me. So in 1861, Lincoln, President Abraham Lincoln, is the president-elect, but he hasn't actually gone to his inauguration yet.
Mm-hmm.
So there were, and this is the kind of thing that I never realized about history, there were secessionists already speaking about breaking the country apart in the 1860s, before the Civil War. So this had been going on for quite a while, that the southern states were talking about moving on and getting it. There it is. Thanks, the pinks. Thank you, Donald Gaither, getting in with that research. So in 1861, in February, Abraham Lincoln is supposed to be traveling across the country, and he has published his rail sort of tour, so that everyone can come by and speak to him and see them. And it's a good thing, because there's no, other than newspapers, there's no real way of getting national attention. So it's hard to speak to everybody. So he was doing a big sort of progress, like queens and kings have done in the past. And he published it in all the different newspapers. And the Southern secessionists got wind of his supposed the way he was going, and they slowly began to formulate a plot. The idea was that when he got to Baltimore from Harrisburg, he wanted to go to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and do a big speech, and then he was going to go to Baltimore and change trains in Baltimore to get to Washington, D.C. But there wasn't a line that finished from Baltimore and started down to Washington, D.C. He had to take he would have to take a car, like a buggy, from one of the train stations to the next rail line train station, because not all of them were interconnected yet.
Sure.
And there was a plot that at that time they would corner him in a small alley, and then they would basically like get him to come out and then cause a ruckus, and then they would like kidnap him or kill him.
Oh gosh.
So Kate Warren found out about this plot. There were some other people that were looking into it as well, but she posed as a Southern genteel woman who would go to all these high society parties in Baltimore and Harrisburg and Philadelphia. And she got all of the information about this supposed murder plot. And she was instrumental in saving his life. So he refused to change his plans. He said, I don't want to change my plans. I'm not going to change anything that I'm doing. I'm still going to do exactly what I said. Once he realized what was going on, he said, can you keep me safe? So what they decided to do was, he got to Harrisburg. He stayed in Harrisburg until like 6 p.m. And then he was summoned by his undersecretary to leave early, and the Pinkerton agency stopped all telegraphs for the rest of the night. So they shut down the telegraph agency, so no one could say that Abraham Lincoln had left early. And then he was picked up by Kate Warren. She took him to the train station. They basically disguised him in a like a floppy hat, and they put a shawl over his head, a shawl over his shoulders to make him look like he was an invalid. And she collected him at the train station. She said, oh, yes, my good brother, it's so nice that you're finally able to join us, and we can all go into the train car together. We're heading to Baltimore. And he was snuck out to the train, a different train than he was supposed to have taken, got through to Baltimore, and then they switched trains. He got moved to a different train at like 3 a.m. And supposedly the Pinkerton agency of We Never Sleep the motto of the Pinkerton Agency.
Mm-hmm.
It's from Kate Warren, who watched over President Lincoln from 11 p.m. until 3 a.m. personally, sat next to his sleeping berth. And apparently he was so big he couldn't actually stretch out, so he was like curled up in a little ball.
Yes, wasn't he? He was 6'5" or 6.
Yeah, he was
way.
tall. There's a theory that he had something called Marfan syndrome, which is a thing where you keep growing even past puberty, and you continue to grow, and your heart is also enlarged, and that's also he might have died early anyway before he was assassinated.
Interesting. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail that.
No,
I
fine.
didn't realize how tall he was. Recently, I was watching some documentary or something. Like 6 foot. It was like 6'7". It was like something insane.
Yeah,
so,
he's really big. Somebody
really
in the comments find that out on Wikipedia right now.
Oh yeah, there's more things in here I've been missing because I'm so engrossed. Keep going.
Yeah, so she got him safely to his inauguration. He was officially inaugurated in February 23rd of 1861. And then she continued to do spy and sort of reconnaissance work throughout the Civil War.
Wow.
She was called Kitty Warren, I guess that's one of her aliases. And she also headed up she was the first female superintendent of detectives for the Pinkerton Agency. She headed up her own branch of the Pinkerton Agency with other female spies. And then she died in 1868. So even though she was only, I think, 35 at the time, that is huge. 6'4" is a big person.
Especially for the mid-1800s.
Oh, yeah. Everyone was like 5'7"-ish, 5'7", 5'10". But yeah, so that is Kate Warren, and you can learn more about her later on if you want to check out that book that Donald Gaither found out. Yeah, and she's just such an interesting, fascinating person to have sort of revolutionized the idea of female detectives.
That's wonderful. I love this kind of stuff, like learning things that we never learned before. I feel like we should have learned about her in school.
Yes, and I mean, or at least mentioned something about this assassination plot that I've never heard of.
Sure.
Because you would think it's just a modern concept, but it's not. It's happened continually throughout history.
Yes, absolutely. Well, if you do not mind, I'm going to take a 1 minute long commercial break just to let people know, and we will be back. I have 2 more very intricate questions. I don't even know what my answer would be. I haven't even thought about it, but I will be right back with that for you. So those of you who are here, thank you again for joining us. I, of course, am Contessa Catalina, and I have a few things that I would like to tell you about. So first of all, I would like to mention that if you still want some merchandise, that 15% off has been extended because I love you all so much. 15% off with code Contessa5 over at my merch store. That information can be provided to you over on my Facebook, Instagram, all of those things is where you are going to find the link, and 15% off for just a little while longer. Also, if you do not already know, every Tuesday this month, catch me on Nat 21 Adventures. I am the GM of a live game, Oops, All Treasures, a chased treasure campaign. That's right, you heard me correctly. It is a chased treasure campaign, including, of course, Lady Morgan, playing a very maternal figure to Lady Arabella and Lady Agnes's characters, a bird person and a cat person. You can imagine all of the stress that Lady Morgan's character is under. And we have been having so much fun already. Who knows what lies in store for this week's episode? So that will be live this Tuesday, so just 2 days from now, at 8 p.m. Eastern, and that is on twitch.tv/Nat21Adventures. The other thing I need to make sure you are aware of, folks, there is no wine mixer next week. I have been so busy over here. One good thing that's coming around is that the industry that we all work in is coming back. I do have some gigs and some very exciting new things that I am working on. The downside is that it is getting in the way a little bit of the shows, but not to worry, because I believe that I will see you again very soon. So for now, just so you are aware, next week's episode again, and I will keep you posted as to if I am coming back for the next week. I will let you know. So another very quick, the reason that we are here every single week after week, is because of the lovely folks over on Patreon. If you would like to support this show, please go to patreon.com/Christina Koya. I hear she's fantastic. And now I think it is time to come back to the nonsense and bring the ladies back in. Aha, there we go.
Love the nonsense. Yes.
Ah!
Yes, very den mother.
Well, I started out. I knew I wanted to continue to be myself as much as possible. And what I forget sometimes is when I have two other treasures that are about to go off the rails, I do tend to fall back into this sort of like den mother, like, all right, let's move forward. All right, let's do the thing now, and like trying to organize them. So I just end up being a very anxious British person, which seems very authentic.
That's pretty much you, just to a T, all the time.
If I'm in a group where I know other people are taking care of things, then I end up being a lot weirder and a lot more like comfortable and strange. But if I know that I have to be the one sort of steering the ship, then I'm a lot more like, all right,
I can't wait for Maine. That means things are going to pop out from under your skirt.
Oh yes, it's going to be very exciting. I'm sure it's going to 'very, very.
Oh, and remind us when the dates for Maine are, just because I want to make sure.
Starting next week.
That's next weekend.
Yay!
So July 17th and 18th, and July 24th and 25th in Acton, Maine. It's the Maine Renaissance Fair. They do have a website and a Facebook page if you want to follow it. And we also have our event on our Facebook page and on our website, www.chasetreasure.com. You can find all of our upcoming festivals on our website. It is updated as frequently as we are signing the contracts. And we just got another one right now during the wine mixer, which will be announced shortly.
Yes.
Yay! That's so exciting. Oh my goodness. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up relatively quickly today. We're not going to go the full hour because you have some important business to do. And, I got to drink some more wine. So I have a great question here. It's a fantastic question. I want to know the answer to this. I don't know what my answer would be. If you could have any musician join Chase Treasure, male, female, or otherwise, who would it be and why? Like, what singer would you like to join us?
Singer or musician? Those are two different things. I mean, they're kind of the same, but
it could be someone who will join us to be singing. I mean, it could be someone who's not a singer either. You could say, I want Gary Busey to join us, Like, who would you like to join us?
I would not like Gary Busey to join us.
For like a week. Like say, for Maine. For Maine Renaissance Fair, you're going to get a celebrity to join you on stage for the whole day, all the shows, they learn all the music. Who would you like it to be and why? I have no idea what my answer would be.
I have no idea. Wayne Brady. Wayne Brady. I'm going to pick Wayne Brady.
Yes. Oh, that's
would be fun.
He would be amazing. I don't know how he would sing all the female songs, but I've seen him in drag. He's not pretty. He's not a pretty woman, but he'd be the best for the improv things, and he would literally make them up on the spot. I'm going with Wayne Brady.
All right. You know what? You just said drag performer, and although he's not normally a drag performer, I would probably go with Todrick Hall. Because
yes,
and a music performer, he looks fabulous in drag, and when he does characters, he looks great. And he's such an amazing writer of music.
Yes.
Like he does. We were doing "It's Raining Men," and then I happened to look up "It's Raining Fellas," which is
it's ridiculous.
Oh my god!
You sent that to me. I love it.
It's so gorgeous. All of the dancing and the choreography and all the other things. I feel like Todrick Hall could teach me a thing or two about how to do everything, how to put on makeup and how to do sassy new songs and how to write new pieces. And I feel like I could learn a lot from Todrick Hall.
Yes.
That would be amazing. I concur with that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, what is this? I have not seen this one, Cinderfella.
No. I know I'm a little bit more familiar with his Wizard of Oz stuff. Some of that is just spectacular. What is it? Let me go down like a munchkin or something. I'm trying to remember all the different lyrics that he has in that. Let me get low like a munchkin. That's a
low like a munchkin.
That's a RuPaul lyric, actually.
I am adding that to my generic lexicon of things that I just need to say all the time.
Just because.
Just because.
What about you, Catalina?
Yes.
Well, it's interesting. My instinct is to say Anna Kendrick. That's my instinct. I don't know. There might be a better one, but I feel like she's safe. She's very funny. She's a very good singer. She's done. I mean, she's been on Bards and Bella, so you know she can do it. But I feel like that's a safe choice.
I feel like that would be a safe choice as well. She's obviously sung a cappella before, so
yes.
Unsafe choice might be like Taylor Momsen. She has that really awesome rock band. She's pretty.
Could you imagine how amazing?
And she was formerly an actress, and like she looks gorgeous. Taylor Momsen was Rosalind. You would know this. Taylor Momsen was Cindy Lou Who in How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey.
Like little baby Cindy Lou Who. She's grown up
to be like a rock star who sings about like death and drug use. It's
incredible. It's incredible.
I mean, that's only appropriate. Yeah,
but she's like a really low, crazy, scratchy for. Yeah,
it's beautiful though. She has a very spectacular voice. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the unsafe choice.
So between the two of them, I would be like either Anna Kendrick or Taylor Momsen, depending on the vibe of the day.
Or which song you're singing, because if you're singing, something like All About That Chaste, where you'd want that kind of like raspy thing versus, parting glass.
If you have, I would want to hear Anna Kendrick sing Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, that'd be fun.
And then you have, yes. I love it. All right. We have one more question for today. And this is sort of in the same idea. This is sort of the same category here. What other Reinfair act would you like
my God.
For a Meg show, and why? Now, I know we've done this before, Rain
All
Day.
of them.
Like the German Brothers jump up. We've had Christoph Salter jump up. But I mean, like, we are doing a big mega show, a last show of the day. We have worked on a show with another act, and we both do each other's stuff, or we combine the acts. So
man.
Who would you like to do that mega show with?
Oh, man. There's so many talented people.
I know, right? I'm inclined to say the joust, and we just sing on horses. Just, the Knights of Noble Cause, and for some reason, chase treasure.
That is still a quiet background dream of mine. I've been riding horses since I realized. I actually looked back through my text messages with my instructor. I've been riding since like 2015 specifically. Yes, Haggis Rampant, very fun.
Other than Haggis Rampant, that's a given.
Who has been on our stage in Louisiana before? Yes. They have come in and done things.
There is a video of us dancing to their music in the rain.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Oh Lord. It's been that was the 3 stages of recognition of. Oh yes, we did. Oh, I remember that day. Oh, I remember that day. Like this levels of what did I do?
I'm so torn because I feel like if Chase Treasure and Greatest Pirate Story Never Told did a show together, it would be insane. But I don't know. I also love Music the Gathering. Right. So I'm torn, but I feel like half of Music the Gathering most of Music the Gathering has done Greatest Pirate Story Never Told.
All 3.
Can we do all 3?
All 3, yeah.
And it would just be like a crazy, like, improv mind-blown show with fantastic music.
Wait a minute. Rosaline.
What?
Do you remember what happened the last time we did a musical performance?
Yes.
With Greatest Pirate Story and Music Gathering and the Donegal Dogs and half the drums.
Go Fortuna happened and it was amazing.
From the crowd show? Yes.
It was amazing.
That was Go Fortuna.
It was amazing. Yes. So it has to happen again.
I keep hoping that someday I'm going to get a lovely email from Pittsburgh to be like, hey, you're going to come back. And I'm like, great. And then like, those are the plans that immediately start ticking in my head of like, all right, so what's the weird thing we can do this year? I would love to challenge the two of you, since you're both going to be at PARF. I would love to see if you could get something like that carried off in finale. Did you imagine that with Rowan the Bard and with like Gary Mazu and all of those wonderful people just doing like Go
Fortuna and finale.
And like, what's his name? Rowan the Bowen with like the big here's a cello. Get him to play the actual orchestral score. Like,
well, now it has to happen.
Yeah, but you have to organize it because I won't be there.
We'll have to get what's his face? Don Miguel. We'll have to get Miguel in his balloon.
Yes.
Balloon.
Oh, he would be all over that.
Go Fortuna.
He joins Joyful Noise on stage to do madrigals one day because reasons. So I feel like this is right up his alley.
All right, so we'll find out who's there our weekends, Catalina, and
do it, please.
Keep those cards, and we'll make some stupid happen. Maybe we'll bring up Aaron Bonk. Maybe he'll do some fire whips. I don't know.
He can be an early.
He's not gonna be there till October.
He can be like,
Adamo Ignis is in there the whole run. So
oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Wait a minute! This is amazing. This is amazing.
I'm serious though, and it's not a difficult song to learn. Like if you know it's not hard. It's just chord building. It's like people playing like a big thick organ. That's all.
I'm gonna need bigger cue cards.
Yes.
I will start working on them now.
I feel like we need to get the whole cast in on it too. Like we'll email Alex Stompoli and be like, this needs to happen.
I'm squirming. I'm so excited.
I've wanted to do this kind of thing for so long, but it's been very difficult to try to organize things, especially that late in the season when we're normally doing way at the end. And there's so many people that have so many things that they've worked on for 13 weeks. If we can hit this in the first 4 weeks, it would make such an impression on the newer entertainment people, and I feel like it would just and they always have really, really good film crews that come to PA. So I would love to have like a giant video with Michael Ulrich of just like, all right, I'm sitting in the front row and here's the cue cards and we're gonna go do this and let's get this rocked. Yeah.
So Catalina, the first weekend we're there, we gotta just make the copies and
then they have 4 weeks. To learn
exactly.
Right. I think I don't know if they still do it now, but there's a pub sing that they used to do. Like all the different musicians would go up into the Anchor and Mermaid.
I think they've turned the finale into pub sing. It's now called pub sing.
All right, whatever. But yeah,
we got this. We will plan. I
want to do this so badly. I really, really do. I think that this would be amazing. So
amazing.
But, yeah, you two and Catherine, I think, can handle this.
We're going to figure out some stupid.
I love this. Absolutely.
I mean, or, like worst case scenario, if that doesn't end up working out, you can still do It's Raining Men and just any male or masculine presenting people if they want to just throw their shirts off in the middle of the show. Like,
just start shaking it.
I mean, I'm not going to argue if people start taking off their doublets.
But you can plan for it, which is the fun part.
I want to see somebody shake their pumpkin pants. There's nothing like it.
Right. Mm-hmm. I think Raleigh's supposed to be there this year, and I've always loved a Raleigh.
There's nothing like a good Raleigh in the hay.
Raleigh in the hay.
Walter. Oh, that doesn't sound nice. Don't yell at me.
Don't yell Walter. Yeah, no.
Right. So I did have to answer the question.
I'm sorry. Yes.
No. Because once you started talking about that, I was like, all right. Here's the background plan I've been thinking about for the last 10 years. So do this. I have always wanted to do the end of the day show with the crack show, but we always end up doing other things instead. Hello. So I would love to get into Shean Gannon and do that. And funny enough, that was one of the things that I've started, not that I can explain it right now, but one of the things I've started to learn while in my car, because it's the only place that I can safely do this, is I've started to learn how to do that growly, screamy thing that a lot of different rock musicians do.
Oh, sure.
Like David Draymond, where he just sort of kind of thing, or Corey Taylor from Slipknot. I've tried to start learning how to do that and doing it safely for my voice, so I'm not cracking and breaking it, because it can be done. And I would love to do that. That's like my other secret hidden talent is learning how to do heavy metal songs. I really, really want to do that at some point.
So you are the Taylor Momsen of our group.
I kind of. I mean, not intentionally. I mean, but yeah, sure.
No, and Catalina and I are the Anna Kendrick.
We really are, though.
Very.
Oh, hey, shout out very quickly to
that's Ooh, all right. I have to come up with
you can send them to us and do something real stupid. They can bring us, you know what? They can bring us some water whenever they want.
Anytime. Yeah.
Sure.
Anytime.
Bring the ladies of Chase Treasure hydration. That's their quest.
Send them up to compliment your hair.
That too.
And I wouldn't mind that either. My hair, I kept hoping that it would grow out a bit more, but it hasn't yet. And I don't mind it. It's just a little shorter than I wanted it to be at this point.
Oh, it looks cute.
I love it. I feel very like old Hollywood glamour today, where I have
yes.
long outfit, Sophia Loren kind of.
All right. Well, ladies, I feel like that was all of the questions that I had for you today. Is there anything you would like to share with people before we do a final toast? Oh, Maria, this was an easy episode, man. We knocked it out very quickly.
Yeah.
Come see us in Maine.
Yes, come see us in Maine.
Yes.
And I mean, I also have a Patreon. So if you would like to find patreon.com/quill&quote. I'm still writing stories. I've almost finished part 3 of a 3-part story called Excelsior. That is, what do I like to call it? Superhero sex workers. So it's a like lesser mutants and mutations.
All right.
And there's a safe place that's also a strip club, and all of the different performers there have different abilities. So like one of them in the background is kind of like the lighting designer, and he can affect like electronics and lights. So he's just the lighting designer in the background. Or some of the dancers have like different abilities. Like one of them I think is made of, what is it? Is he ebony? No. He's something else. Onyx. He's made of stone. So he's a man who's made of like stone, not like the rock man that you think of from Fantastic Four, but like marble kind of.
All right.
He also happens to be a dancer. So that's like my favorite is a girl I've called Cassidy Sundance. That's not her real name. It's one of the best stripper names I've ever come up with in my life. And she has the ability to project pheromones to turn people on from the stage. So even 300 feet back, like she's able to sort of like push that out into the audience, and then they all get like super turned on and freaked out, and they start making out with each other and all kinds of stuff. It's really
nothing in a curse.
But it's so like weird abilities that like, all right, I have the ability where I can just be able to find parking spaces in New York City, no matter where I am. All right, well, that's only a practical to me. But then if I'm the person who's the valet for this club, then suddenly that's like an amazing ability that actually has practical applications. So I've been just coming up with like random extra things that like, all right, what's a weird superpower that someone could have that then you could use practically for something.
Great.
Oh, and don't forget Chase Treasure's Patreon, patreon.com/Chased Treasure. And also on our Facebook page right now, we are trying to decide the final song for Ladies Unlaced this upcoming Friday.
Yes.
We have the top 3 chosen by our Patreon subscribers. So if you want to be involved in all the polls, just like on here for Catalina's wine mixer and figuring out what questions to ask, we've been doing a lot of polls on there, trying to decide which songs to sing. So our top 3 songs were decided on Patreon, but our 4th song is going into like a March Madness style voting pool. So right now on Facebook, we have the question of, would you rather hear Baker's Daughters or Chandler's Shop? So those are the 2 being voted on today. Tomorrow we'll have another 2. And then Tuesday, you'll have the final battle between the 2 winners and decide what we should sing on Friday evening. So.
All right. I love that. And yes, those of you watching, most of you are very good at these polls and these questionnaires. So I know you are very good at this. So go ahead and do all of that voting. I love to see what ends up winning. And of course, Lady Morgan, it is your turn to leave us with a toast.
I mean, I only know this one lyric, but why not? Let's do it. Here's to the ladies who lunch.
Aren't they a jest?
Salud.
Yeah, I knew you were going to finish it if I got to.
Now I'm going to sing the whole song in my head. Thank you, Morgan.
It's a good song.
Thank you to everyone who has joined us today for this little shorter episode, but a fun one nonetheless. And thank you to all of my Patreon supporters, especially my extra spicy sponsors, Wookie Gunner, Robert L, Kyle F, Brian G, and Emmy R, and Anton S. And a special thanks to my top sponsors, Marco, Dan Kai, and Tommy A. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Look at that cherry. And I will see you very soon, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.